I don't see it as a fixed entity. It needs to be something that can be organic and that people can talk about and think about
and sort of build from
and move on from, because that's how theory grows anyway. That's how theory develops. I mean, it's not a science book, although there are bits of science in it. But I'm sure that you find a piece of something that's objective science, and it grows and it moves on, and it doesn't over centuries. Things don't stand still, and I don't want this book to stand still.
No
at all.
So it's a bit like Kepner's book was of its time, and he did the best he could empirically with what he'd got.
I think he did a fantastic book because it's so consistent with what we've learned since.
Absolutely.
From neuroscience.
Really?
Absolutely on the button.
And what I like about Gestalt is that when you map it onto, when Alan Shaw talks about right brain to right brain therapy, and you look at Gestalt and say, purpose built for that is just got to be the way it should be. You're training people to do this. And why aren't we telling more people this is spot on? There's Alan Shaw saying do it like this, and we're going, we know how to do that already.
I think I started off feeling a little bit kind of apologetic. I'm writing a book, but it's a Gestalt book, and I've stopped being apologetic because I'm now. There's nothing like having written it to really appreciate the sophistication of our approach. Of our approach. So I am now kind of out there and raising the flag and saying Gestalt really has something to offer, and sit up and take notice of what we're doing. And there are people out there like the Boston Change Process Study Group who are doing really good work and so on. But it's actually they're saying a lot of what we've already had theories in place around for 50, 60 years.
And it's that mapping across.
That whole piece of self and other, which I think is so brilliant.
Yes, absolutely. And that relational, unless you've had it done for you, you can't take it in and then give it out. And I think there's a lot of that which you kind of just nailed it beautifully. And I like the fact that although it's a very strongly Gestalt book, you've opened it to an audience who are not necessarily Gestaltists by explaining the concepts and having the glossary and making that all.
Well, I worked hard with two people who weren't Gestalt therapists, and they read quite a lot of it as we were going along, and then we'd meet and we'd have
So
incredible
like
discussions, and they told me how when there was something that they couldn't grasp, it didn't make sense, and you need to, and then I'd explain it, and then they'd say, well, write it like that.
Yes, and it comes over as words that way.
And so we worked hard together to make it a bit more accessible. But it is, I'm really proud of it being a Gestalt book.
Yes, and so I think it works on both levels, and it works for me that it made it easier for me to think about the Gestalt concepts, because it's a bit like when I get an Alzheimer's magazine, and it's got like the article, and it's a little bit down the side, a nice simple language in big print. And it's so restful to read those bits. It's like, oh, that's nice. Yes. And it's not saying that was what your book was like, but there was a quality of, you were saying, here are the complex ideas, and this is a way of understanding it in non-jargon language, non-Gestalt language, and mapping those two together.
But in a way, for Gestaltists, the ideas are very, very basic. I'm talking about figure and ground. I'm talking about the cycle of experience. I'm talking about the here and now and awareness and phenomenology. I mean, such simple stuff. Really. But just translating it in looking at trauma through those lenses. And seeing how it all fits together and works.
Did you have an important?
But,